What up, what up, what up? Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. We are here on a Friday. While you guys are here, drop a like on the stream to start off the day with some good luck. Start off the day with some good luck. We'll wait just a minute to let everyone in, and then we'll get started. Talk about the market. Looking at SLNA here, you guys can see on the chart, we have this up. I went over it yesterday. Crazy market we've seen right now. FFIE, SNOA, CRKN yesterday. I mean, everything is, all these pennies are going nuts. So we're going to learn how to navigate through this. All right, so first, let's go over SLNA. What's going on here? Why am I bullish on this? So we have, obviously, the penny market theme going absolutely nuts. Now, I drew out my zone here from the weekly chart, right? Let's go to the weekly and see where is buying pressure, okay? So after we break out, right, we look for zones. So we broke out and we see old buying pressure in this area. Now, due to that old buying pressure, what I'm looking for is a breakout and a retest into this zone on the weekly chart for a move back up, okay? So if that's what we're looking for on the weekly chart, the larger time frame, our price targets would be around 27.95. All right, that's what I have drawn out. And then the next level would be 39.3, which is kind of this area right here, the high volume rejection. Okay, so that's how I got my price targets here, and that's how I got this zone. So we break out, retest into that. And you guys can see on the smaller time frame on SLNA, right? That's exactly what's happening right now. The smaller time frame is playing out as we want on SLNA, right? All this was technically liquidity grabs. We didn't know that at the time, but now that it's broken over it, all this liquidity is kind of setting up to go 27 next leg. All right, so SLNA, we have room to 27.95, right? We've been talking about this for a while. So now what do you do today? How do you navigate through all these trades? How do you navigate through all these trades? Well, what you want to look for, like for example, yesterday, ASTI ran as well, right? So I was watching ASTI. This one had unnoticed news. So on penny day, on stocks, on penny day running days, right? You can look for unnoticed news as well. It works, right? So you look for stocks that don't have news, but they don't really catch. Okay, they don't really catch momentum, and then you can kind of ride that out. You guys can see on ASTI there was news here yesterday, but no one traded it, right? So you get in early and you kind of just ride that wave. So today we'll be watching a continuation for ASTI. We'll see dips down to like probably around just this area, right? And then look for continuation right here, right? A little downtrend break. Let's go to the smaller time frame. We can pull out a downtrend break on this one. Okay, ASTI. Now our SLNA is looking real bullish. While this is gonna go for us, we'll just keep going over other stocks. SGBX, YGMZ. Okay, MDAI had news. Let's see. Yeah, BMTX is holding up. I'm probably gonna focus on intraday runners just because you know it's a fresh day, market's super hot. But that ASTI penny, my focus is gonna be more so on pennies. I'm gonna be watching the other low float stocks as well, but that's what we're about to go over right now. So right, I'm about to pull up the list here. All right, so there's so much going on. There's so many pennies going on. Let's go over Duo. What's going on here and how do we navigate through this? Okay, so this is from before. No idea. I don't know what the last time was, but okay. So we're looking at DUO, right? This is on the scanner. No news. You guys can see we have so many runners: 300%, 140%, 123%, 91%, 89%. All these runners, and only 2 of them have new. Oh, this is a SEC. This is a what? There you go. SEC filing. Yeah. There was only one that has news, and that's not even a penny stock. So all these penny stocks don't really have news. So make sure you guys are being careful. Typically, we are a little bit more careful on stocks that don't have news. And let's see, SLNA. SLNA has an SEC filing, and then BNRG. All right, so let's look at BNRG. So this one has news. I kind of like the way that this is setting up. Okay, now we see this rejection, and most people are going to be like, wait, why do you like this stock? Well, you guys are going to see that this is a liquidity grab, right? This is a liquidity grab from the shorts, right? So we have a candle close here. We break out and close under this level, right? So close under the previous high. So this tells me, hey, that all this was a liquidity grab. Now, after we keep breaking over it, we grab stop losses on all this, on all these entries. These are all stop loss rates because we close below this low. And now we start to move to the downside. And one thing I do like about this stock is that we did not close red on this candle. We went super high and we still closed green. So that means buyers aren't completely weak and sellers aren't that strong, right? They were just stronger up here. They're not as strong up here. So this still tells me, hey, once we break below this low and grab liquidity, right? These are 2 lines for me. Both of these lines are going to be intact for this is going to be my line for BNRG. All right, so this is my setup. This is what I'm looking for. I think BNRG is a great setup and will show us a nice trade opportunity today. Okay, you guys understand what's going on here? You guys get the plan on BNRG? So that's what we're looking for on BNRG, okay? Write these down. Okay. And then now we have SLNA ripping through for us. Just holding on to that position. You guys can see we are absolutely ripping. Next price target is 27 here for us. Next price target here is 27 for us. For those that are in, just keep riding. Raise your stop losses. Enjoy the ride. Stress-free trade. Don't let it go right against you, but you guys see the price targets, right? So just a little update. So we have the plan clear on BNRG. Now we're looking for a SGBX. So now I like the way SGBX trades at all times, right? I love the way SGBX trades. It's a very thin stock. Now you guys can see we have a clear liquidity grab here, right? We have a clear liquidity grab, meaning we have a high here. We break over the high. We grab stop losses. Okay, we grab all the stop losses and start to hunt to the downside. Now, where's liquidity for buyers? So they grab seller's liquidity. Now, buyer liquidity, I would probably look for something to step in right here, just because you guys can see that volume soar in, right? So we have volume right here. All right, so we have volume roll in. Now I would look for entries off of this level on SGBX, more so like a crack below that level, and then something like this where they grab liquidity and start to set up SGBX for that move. That makes sense. Now let's go to the larger time frame. Let's go to the daily and the weekly, see where the volume is sitting at. Right now we're sitting at 433. Same thing, high volume, right? 432, 433. Frankly, it aligns with the high volume candlestick that we're looking for, so that's perfect. What we will look for is, just bases off this 432, 438 for that next leg towards probably $5 area, right? Let me look at the daily once again. And the 5 minute. Yeah, I would want it to cool down a little bit, consolidate a little bit here, and then eventually set up. I think. Um, I'm not sure if SGBX has news. It's just on the scanner, so that's why I pulled it up. All right, so what stocks do you guys want to go over? Let's go over ACAN. There's so many penny stocks to go over, so all right, ACAN, absolutely insane runner from yesterday, right? If we go to this was my zone here. Now what happens here? So far you guys can see we have some rejection, not massive rejection, but there's a potential scenario of forming a inverse head and shoulders here. Okay, so we have the shoulder here, we have the head here, okay, and we have the shoulder here. Make sense? Head, something like that. Oh, that was bad. Well, we have the shoulder, we have the head. We could be making another shoulder here soon. So that's potentially a scenario. That's just based off chart patterns. Now, AKAN and penny stocks have been having a strong theme. So I would still be keeping it on watch at this level right here. This would be my resistance. And then this right here would be my support zone, right? So we look for market structure shift. Now the market structure shift here, right? So we have rejection and then we break out. So the candle that we started to break out is this candle right here. So this is going to be protected, all right? This is going to be where market makers are looking to start to enter and grab liquidity. So if any level is going to hold here for the next leg on AKAN, it's going to be this 31.16 level, because you guys could see a market structure shift and then we break out of these highs, right? So this is obviously a level in which there's liquidity sitting, there's market makers, and then once again we saw a bounce here, and then we should be looking for a liquidity grab for something like this, right? If the stock is going to go. So that's AKAN. Let's look at the larger time frame. Let's look at where the volume is, right? So there's still a lot of buying pressure here on AKAN. So one more line that I would have is 28.31. I would really want to see 31 hold for a strong breakout, but just because there's so many other plays going, not 100% sure if it does it, right? So I would be watching it down to this level as well, down to 28.08, just because, right, you guys see attempt of selling pressure, and then buyer stepped in. Attemption, right? There wasn't actual selling pressure. Selling tried to come in, but then buyers sweep that dip up, and now we're looking for either 31.16 hold, okay, or 28.08. And I would be more interested in 28.08 just because obviously a better risk reward trade. Now, a lot of people are talking about FFIE. I haven't traded this ever since the whole run, and that might sound crazy. I didn't trade it yesterday, I didn't trade it today, and I don't plan on trading it. I mean, if it sets up today, sure. Like, this was a nice setup on FFIE. We had very nice key levels kind of holding on this stock. But I was not able to trade it. I did not catch an opportunity here, so I'm not gonna like force FFIE, right? There's so many other runners. But for FFIE, one thing you guys are gonna look for is an overall uptrend, okay? Overall uptrend here. Right, so we have, what is an uptrend? An uptrend is higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. Now, how do you know when an uptrend ends? Right? How do you know when an uptrend ends? When you dip down, make a higher low, but then you make a low instead of a higher high, okay? Instead of the continuation of higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high, you make a lower high. So you stay within this range. Okay? You stay within the range. So now this is resistance. Now the trend flips. Now the trend flips. So you start making lower highs, lower highs. That makes sense? That's how you find the trend flip. So when is FFIE actually going to trend flip? I don't know. But it kind of looks like it's doing it right now, right? It looks like it's kind of topping out right now. Instead of right now, what we have been seeing on the 15-minute chart is just a lot of range, consolidation on a range, a lot of breakout on a range, consolidation, and then breakout. Right now, there's no dip really. Right now, we broke out the high, right? We broke out the high. There wasn't much momentum. There wasn't a big move. And it's looking very, very choppy. So I would say FFIE is coming down to an end soon. Top would be like 317. Max 330, 355. Not sure if it goes there. But you guys can see FFIE, right? You have to find the stocks that have room to run. So obviously FFIE, you guys can see on the weekly, there's really nothing stopping this. After all these shorts, what we talk about is shorts showing their hand. All right, so on the monthly chart, think about it, from all the way to 73, this is a reverse split. But FFIE from $70 comes down all the way to 6 cents. Not a single ounce of hope for the stock, right? So now when it starts running, all these shorts that are coming in are scared as fudge. Right? It starts breaking over 20. They're like, oh, cover. Next price target 40, start covering, right? This thing is just nuts. So now, where is this thing gonna stop? This thing is gonna stop why this squeeze happened, right? That's where we're gonna stop because of this demand, because of this supply zone right here. So this whole squeeze to the downside started because of this consolidation and started because of this candle right here. So now we're gonna look at 329 on the intraday chart, and maybe a little bit more move left on FFIE, but then 325, 329 is going to be probably most likely that top on FFIE. Okay? So keep in mind. All right, so CYN. CYN, we're looking at all right, so CYN. All right, I was looking at the weekly chart and see what was going on. Like, why did we bounce? So you guys can see we look for high volume candlesticks, okay? High volume candlesticks is obviously this one right here. So we draw out the zone, okay? We draw out the support levels right here. And then we draw out the resistance levels, right? We have a high volume rejection now, which should turn into support eventually. But right now we're at 14, so this 20-cent area is going to be a price target. And then the high of this is going to be a price target as well, which is 27 cents. Now, if we're holding this level, it tells me that all these dips all these dips are going to be starting to get bought up just to get towards this 32 area, right? Because market moves from level to level, right? So if the market moves from level to level, we're holding a high volume key level at 1191. Conviction just tells me that we have room back up to 31 cents, okay? We have room back up to 31 cents. All right, so now I'm looking for entries in between this range. Now on the weekly chart, you guys can see that same level we're talking about, 1181. Now let me draw out the zone here. Let's go to the Haukenashi. Draw the zone. You guys can see that Haukenashi, it's pretty clear where the buying pressure is at. So we'll go here and draw this out. Do another look. All right, so this is what I'll use for my zone. This is resistance right here, breakout, hold into support, and just a flat top, right? You guys can see there's clearly so much selling pressure right here. 16.7, a lot of selling come in. You guys see that volume? So much selling comes in. See this volume on this breakout? So much selling pressure comes in. Absolutely dump it. So this tells me, hey, there is selling pressure going on here, but there's also a buyer holding this up. So once this breaks out of 1820 and the seller who's just sitting here goes away, this thing has room to gap up to 27 cents. So I'm really hawking down CYN for that bigger move. Okay, really hawking down CYN for that bigger move. All right, FLJ. Let's go over FLJ. Some people are asking about that in the chat. FLJ. So what do I not like about this trade? Okay, okay, and kind of exposed it. What do I not like about this trade on FLG on the 10-minute chart? On the one, we'll talk about the 10-minute chart for now. What's on this candle that I don't like? Everyone let me know in chat. If you guys are joining here consistently, everyone should know the answer. Why don't I like it? There you go. You guys are paying attention. No structure. There's no structure on this. Now, if we drop down to the 5 minute, I'll kind of explain what that means. If you drop down to the 5 minute, what does that mean? What does that mean? It means that on the 5 minute, we have structure on this candle. But over here, there is no, it's just a pop from 58 to 103. How explosive is that? That just tells me, hey, if it went up slower like this, like something like this, you know, slower, this has structure. I can see it more clearly on the 1 minute. Where's the support? Where's the resistance? Right? I can see it. It goes up slowly on the 1 minute. But on the 5 minute and the 10 minute, there's no structure. So that just tells me, hey, we have a lot of room to come down. We have, if there's no structure here, this doesn't tell me enough information on the 5 minute. And that's a little bit scarier. So let me go to the 1 minute and see where the structure is at. Right? So we want to see liquidity grabs. So obviously candle open right here. Right? So candle open and then candle low. Right? So this tells me, hey, this is where we grab liquidity, and this is where we could set up off of again on FLJ. Right, this is where we could see that momentum. Okay, so obviously candle hold right here, come down below, grab some liquidity, try to make a move, grab some liquidity, try to make a move, grab some liquidity, and it's trying to grab liquidity right now. So it's trying to create liquidity right now. What do I think happens on FLG? I think it's pretty clear. They don't have enough liquidity here, obviously. So what's going to happen is they're going to dip it down to 82.40, right? Probably open around like 85, 86. It doesn't matter really where it opens. It kind of does actually. So like if we want to open around 86, dip down to 82, grab liquidity and start to set back up like this, right? So if there's not enough liquidity here, obviously we're going to head down to that next liquidity area in which we have the lower wick and in which they need to grab stop losses, right? So people have stop losses under this level because it's a clear support, right? It's a clear structure. It's a clear structure giving from the market. So we would look for 82.18 wick, right? So this is actually a really good trade opportunity. We look for a wick opportunity here and for something like this on FLJ. So if it does liquidity grab at 82 cents, I love FLJ. All right, if it does that for me, I love FLJ. I like that opportunity. So now let's see how it looks like on the 5 minute, the levels that we have drawn out. 5 minute, no structure. 10 minute, no structure. Can't really say anything. There's only structure on the 1 minute. So I think that's what it's going to have to test. If we go to the weekly Helkanashi, kind of see where buying pressure is at. We're at 90 cents right now. Buying pressure really just starts right here. Okay. Then if we get off the Helkanashi, kind of see where the buying pressure is. Yeah, right. It makes sense that we could see buying pressure just start to roll in here. So, okay, so this would be my potential zone on FLG. So what do we say? We want to dip down to 80. Wow. 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 How perfect is this? It's complete coincidence. Complete coincidence how literally to the perfection I said 82. So 82 dip. Soak down to quite literally this was on accident, right? But quite literally to that zone from the weekly in which there was buying pressure on Helkanashi. I had no idea. But that's awesome. I hope you guys share the same kind of understanding with me about this. But yeah, that was really cool. But same thing, FLJ, that's just more confluence on the trade. I love the FLJ setup. I think that we come down towards this 80 cent level and we sweep up and we start to head back up towards, we have a lot of room to run like 95, 97. All right, so that's the plan on this one. Let's go over NBY. CRKN. So a lot of people are going to be chasing this CRKN just like FFIE because it went so much. One thing I do see, it kind of looks backside to me. If you look at it from if you look at this stock from a bear perspective, right, we're kind of making a, all right, so we're making a, let me show you guys. All right, this is a bullish pattern, but I'm not a huge fan of trading it because there's so much resistance sitting at this level. So I don't anticipate the breakout. What I do on CRKN here, right? What I do on CRKN is I look for this breakout and I look for a retest into 47. And once this happens, guys, once this happens on CRKN, it's lights out. It's lights out. Okay? Absolute lights out. Once this happens, all the shorts are trapped, right? The liquidity, let me show you guys. So the run that we talked about, the FFIE rejection, right? Where the candle started. So after on FFIE, we saw FFIE, go to the daily, go to weekly, right? Where do we see the selling start to come in? This level right here, 76, right? It wasn't actually 76, but you guys saw that there was the selling pressure that started the move was right here, okay? On the daily, where did it start? Right here, okay? Right, this move right here. Right before the whole move down, this was the consolidation. So let's use that same thesis here on CRKN. So the move that, the candle that had this massive move down, we are now coming up towards it again. We tested it, not too much resistance. We're about to test it again. If we see low resistance, right, we want to see a breakout and retest. Once this happens on CRKN, this is going to be very, very big for the stock. All right, so you wait for the breakout, you wait for the retest. Okay, let me show you something like this, confluence, and then you break out here and go absolutely nuts. Okay, you guys see that working out? This is an ascending triangle. So this is what you're going to look for. Okay, bullish pattern, but I like to wait for that breakout. Okay, hope that's pretty clear. NBY will kind of go through hit fire on these stocks now. NBY kind of making a inverse head and shoulders, right? We have a shoulder, we have a head. Probably going to start to reject towards this shoulder, but to those that are in, I would look for a move. Let me just mark out key levels really quick. I'll look for something like this. Okay, so rejections on NBY would be at 17.8, and then you would look for 14.7 liquidity grab on NBY, just because you guys can see there's obviously a ton of selling pressure, but obviously half of that was buying pressure. Okay, so you're going to look for NBY, you're going to look for buying pressure to come in here, move back to 17 cents. I'll actually put this on my watch list because this isn't a terrible setup, especially being a penny that has not ran yet. This does have a pretty nice setup. Okay, so we're going to be looking at this. We're going to be looking at this level on NBY. What else? GWAV. Okay. GWAV, probably not one that I trade today. It trades pretty thick. I have my own watch list that I will be trading, but let's talk about liquidity from a liquidity perspective. First thing that I see right here is that we break this high. Okay, we break this high, we grab liquidity and start to move down. I think GWAV has completely trend flipped now, reminding me of the same exact chart that we had on, that we just went over. What did we just go over? CRKN. All right, GWAV and CRKN followed each other. Obviously, CRKN had that massive knife to the downside, right? You guys can see GWAV followed literally to the perfection. Now, instead on GWAV and CRKN, the difference is that GWAV actually broke the high 8 now. Now it's completely making all these resistance levels into support. So what I'd look for is I would draw these zones out. I would draw this zone out. I would draw this gap level out right here. Now to use this as a guidance for that entry level on GWAV. I think as long as we hold these levels, right, we grab liquidity below this gap zone, Now look for a 21-cent hold on GWAV for something like this on GWAV, okay? This is a potential prediction on GWAV. That's what we need to hold. Okay, that's what we need to hold on GWAV. All right. So we went over quite a few stocks today. Let me go over BRSH real quick because I know a lot of people have questions about these penny stocks. So I'm just going to be doing hit fires. Hit fires. Let's see, BRSH. I see buying pressure come in right here, but then a lot of it is selling pressure. What you want to see, where's the next buying pressure coming in? Looks like it's pretty stacked with sellers here, right? You guys can see sellers are pretty stacked right here. I would look for a move down to look for something like this. All right, look for something like this where we look for a dip down to 1676 on BRSH. You get something like this, and then you get that move back up here. Okay, this is what I'm looking for on BRSH. That's actually another nice setup, so I'll mark that down. All right, so that's kind of my watch list today. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Every single person here, if you guys are here, make sure you guys drop a like on this stream. Subscribe to the stream right now. Right, subscribe to the stream right now. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Check right now if you are. I have YouTube videos coming out almost every single day. Last one was how I made $4,000 3 days ago. I dropped a YouTube video yesterday in which kind of going over what's going on with the market, how to navigate it, and how I personally caught BCAN from 118, 120, all the way down to 150, made 4 figures on that trade. So absolutely insane. Remember that there's so many freaking tickers to watch today that you need to narrow your focus. So I'm not going to be watching 40, 50 different runners. I like to keep my energy focused on 3 to 4, 5, 6, 7 stocks. I'm saying 7 right now because that's crazy. 7 is crazy. I usually watch like 4 or 5, but because the market is so insanely hot right now, I'm going to be watching a little bit more, okay? So I hope you guys enjoy the stream. Make sure you guys subscribe. I'm giving so much value on this stream every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then also on these YouTube videos. So have post notifications on. You guys will absolutely love these videos. If you guys want to join me in live trading right now for free, 7-day free trial is right here. You guys can check out the top link in the description. It's been Minnie. I hope you guys enjoy the weekend. Take it slow today. Hit your daily goal and get the F out the market. Take it early weekend. That's what I'm going to be doing. So other than that, it's been Minnie. Peace.